Hey guys, we're now to our 5th video in the Naverisk Getting Started series. In this video we're going to be looking at remote control functionality, how we can set remote control for our devices, how we can set global passwords, and how we can use third-party remote control with integration with Naverisk. So the first thing we're going to look at is, of course, just simply remote controlling to a device in Naverisk. So I'm going to choose a client, click on the device's name, so we're going to choose our site controller agent, and over on the right here we can go and set a password for our remote control. So we're setting this for VNC, but we have many different options of remote control that you can choose from. So let's go via VNC, and we're going to click on the little screen icon there and go through the prompts. This is going to bring up a Java applet or platform that will allow us to connect to a device. Put in our password and log in, and simply we have our remote control show up for our device here. So these steps are quite simple, as you can see. So now that we've set the password and we've set the remote control, what we can do now is, if we go back to our devices tab, we can simply remote control to a device by clicking on the little remote control icon out of our list of devices here, rather than going into the details themselves. Same steps, type in the password, log in, and we can log into our site controller agent just as before. Now the next thing we're going to look at is changing the remote control properties and settings on the client level rather than just the device level. So if we go to our settings tab, and we can go to remote control, our second tier under remote management, these are all the details that we can change here. So we can select what type of remote control we want active for our devices in that list that you saw under the device details. We can choose those, privacy as well, so we can do notifications for standard and advanced agents. So for a workstation, we might want to request permission from the user before we remote in, and for advanced agents, perhaps just a notification balloon. You can also set a global VNC password as well, so this password will work across all the devices under the NavDemo2 client site that I've set up here. Simply save those changes, and that's ready to go. Now the next thing we're going to look at is a little bit more difficult. I'm going to untick the other third-party remote controls, and for this scenario I'm going to choose Splashtop. We're going to go to settings, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to set up the Splashtop integration. So it's quite easy to do. We have a default user account and deployment code, but we need to get that deployment code from Splashtop itself. So I've got my login from Splashtop. I'm just going to pull it up now, and within Splashtop I'm going to go to management, and I'm going to go to deployment down the bottom. What's going to happen is I'm going to click on new deployment, or create a deployment package here, and once I create this I can give it a package name. So I'm going to call this, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way for you, but this is how I've decided to set it up. So I click on create deployment package. What's going to happen now is a new code is going to become active for Naverisk Demo 2. I'm going to grab that code. I'm simply going to copy it and paste it in the deployment code under settings, Splashtop integration. So we have our code now. What I'm going to do now is we're going to save those changes, and we're going to go to devices, and similar to what we did before, so we're going to click on the site controller agent's name, bring up the device details page, and you can see that we've got Splashtop already active and ready to go. Once I click on the little remote control icon, I can choose to use Splashtop Business. Now just as a heads up, for this to work as a prerequisite, you need to have Splashtop Business installed on your device so that you can remote control to the end devices. So there you have it. So I've remoted using Splashtop through to our site controller for NavDemo2. So now that I've made those changes with Splashtop, I can go back to my devices list level, and I can remote to my devices with the remote control icon here, and it's still going to use Splashtop. So I can simply log in, and as you can see, as I did before, we're going to remote into our device using Splashtop. Now we offer other integrations, remote control integrations, for the likes of TeamViewer and Screen Connect as well. I'll be able to show you how you use those in a different video, but it's very similar to how you set up Splashtop. So there you have it, guys. That's remote control with Naverisk. Another nice quick video. In the next video we're going to be looking at Naverisk's email integration. Thanks for watching.